I can't stand right here. In his right hand was your man's worst nightmare. Loud enough to burst his right eardrum close range. The game is not only dangerous, but it's most strange. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but brag about the broker time. Joker rhymes like the is you just happy to see me trick. Classical slapstick, rappers need chapstick. A lot of them sound like they in a talent show, so I give them something to remember like the Alamo. Tally ho, a hot joker like Space Game. Came back from 5 years lane and stayed the same. Electromagnetic field, it blocks all logic. Spock and G-Shock's a biological clock. When I hit it, slid it to the shit, I thought I killed a goose. Her power use was pure brittle water, filter juice. Keep a pen like a fiend, keep a pipe with him. Gentleman who lent a pen to a friend who write with him. Never seen this shit again, but he's still my dunny. The only thing that come between us is krill and money. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash will brag about the broker times. Better rhymes make for better songs, and bad as not if you got a lot of what it takes just to get along. Surrender now, suffer serious setbacks. Got get back, connects, wet back, get stacks. Even if you got to get jet black, head to toe to get the dough. Battle for bottles of Mo or Dro. This fly flow take practice like Tybo with Billy Blanks. Oh, you're too kind, really thanks. To the corner lost forever like, oh my darling Clementine. He hold his heart when he tellin' rhyme. When is his time? I hope his soul go to heaven. He nasty like the old time, old number 7. You still taste it when you chase it with the Coca-Cola. Make 'em wish they could erase it out the Motorola. I told her, no credit, fall back. If you want what they got, then go get it, it's all gag. Only in America could you find a way to earn a healthy buck and still keep your attitude on self-destruct. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but tell about the broke times. Joker rhymes like the is you just happy to see me trick. Classical slapstick, rappers need chapstick. A lot of them sound like they ain't a talent show, so I give them something to remember like the Alamo. Tally ho, hot joker like Space Game. Came back from 5 years lane, stayed the same. Electromagnetic field will block all logic. Spock and G-Shock a biological clock. When I hit it, slid it to the shit, I thought I killed a goose. Her power use was pure brittle water, filter juice. Keep a pen like a fiend, keep a pipe with him. Gentleman who lent a pen to a friend who write with him. Never seen this shit again, but he's still my dunny. Only thing that come between us is krill and money. We sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but tell about the broke times. In your arms tonight, she reflects that she owes you the sweetest of debts. She wants to pay. Check it out, y'all. You don't stop. Keep on to the shine. Yo, yeah, you listening to the buttery slickness, the land of lakes from my man MF Doom. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, shock in the house, man, with a nugget. Regulation status right here. Follow recordings, 1999. Yeah. Now what are you supposed to say on the end of records? I don't know. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Mashed potatoes, applesauce, buttery biscuits, and I get lost. So yes, y'all. Don't stop. Keep on to the break of dawn. Say what? Yeah. You thought the war was over. You thought the song was over. Reject you. Woo! You listen to www.headline.com. MF Doom. Cool Bob Love.
Can never tell how loud it's going to be on there. Yo. Will we ever get digitally enhanced? I mean, are you dropping something like existential on me there that I got to answer before we get started? Will we ever get digitally enhanced? I mean, I guess to some capacity we already have. Our capacity to interact with each other and transmit information to each other has been digitally enhanced. Hey, what up, Phil? Oh, and update. Yeah, welcome to the metaverse. Update. We're back in the SM7B community, right? Like, we got this goddamn legendary mic back. Yeah, yeah. So I tried the pod mic for a while. I got rid of the SM7B originally because it just sounded too, like, oddly boomy with my voice, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, no, it's gone. So I sold it because I just, like, couldn't really find a, like, setting for it, you know? And then finally, like, someone that I talked to in audio was like, what did you do to the back of it? And I was like, wait, what? So, like, for those of you who don't know, there are little switches on the back of the SM7B that you can use to change the overall, like, presence of the microphone. And I was like, oh, no, I hadn't really screwed with all that. And mine was boosting the bass or something. And because of that, my voice was just coming through, like, a lot, like, muddier on the SM7B originally. And now that I found out about this, I was like, oh, okay, it is a pretty sweet mic. And one of the other things I really like to do is whenever I'm talking, especially on, like, live stream, I like to be able to move around and position my mic. And the original thing that was going on with the pod mic was the XLR cable kept coming out the back. And it was like, oh, well, fucking, now I gotta fiddle with this, and now I know not to touch this. And now I'm just like, ha ha, now you're coming with me everywhere we go. And you could always hear, like, the boom in the mic. And now it's like, oh. Yeah. Ooh, here's a question. So, is Nimble a 5e hack or full system? I don't know if you've ever seen anything more than a summary of what was changing, something like that. I have seen enough of the system now to where I actually believe that it is its own proprietary system. It is something that is different, that will work in terms of if you are trying to plug in 5e adventures into it, it will run, right? Hey, there's Evan right there. Yeah, so it will run. The things that it's doing that I think are really clever, there is a shift going on with... Here's the way I would basically put it from what I've seen so far. And it's not sponsored or anything. I am doing some work for Nimble. But just so you... I guess that's like the disclosure there. The thing that I like about what's going on with Nimble is it feels like a bit of a defrag of 5e, where a lot of the mechanics I just kind of felt were, how do I put it? A lot of times there were just, like, unnecessary rolls that were happening in 5e that I was like, I by saying it's unnecessary, I'm like, I don't see why it's here, right? But Evan took it a step further and even went so far as to remove attack rolls. Now, this is not the kind of thing that I think is, like, by its own right, something that is incredibly unique. We've seen this happen with, like, Into the Odd, right? Recently, I think, wasn't MCDM talking about doing this and then they backed down? But one of the things that I think that Nimble is doing is that they didn't get rid of crits. And if you're like, how does that happen? Well, you're still rolling for damage. And if you roll the highest value on the damage die, it's a crit, which means that D4s are going to crit more often, which means that, oh, suddenly rogues are like, oh, sneak attack, oh, wait, they're getting a little bit more juice out of the, like, more crit more often kind of a thing, right? So it's running quicker by the virtue of, like, crits being kind of like that, you know what I mean? There's a lot to it that, to me, it's running a lot more smoothly. It got rid of a lot of the clunk and clutter of 5e. That I think the thing that's going to, if we're looking at the 5e likes, right, that are kind of coming out in the market right now, of everything that's kind of claiming, 5e backwards compatibility, or like, hey, this is going to work with what Nimble is doing, I think some of the most novel things out of some of the systems I've seen so far. Truckers is digitally enhancing his content, and Arcane Bolt Assembly helps other creators to enhance theirs. Wait, what? I don't know what's going on there. You always wanted to know more about Nimble, even seen really great things. I think that if I were to play 5e, or do a 5e like again, I would probably be going back to Nimble before anything else right now. And I don't include Shadowdark in that pool either. MCD was switched from no attack rolls to no damage rolls. What? They want to get rid of something, I guess, yeah. Oh, one of the other cool things, I can't really show you guys this in any way, but right here, I can like read chat now because I got a new teleprompter. There were so many things I was like, okay, so we have a tiny bit of cash that we can improve some shit in the studio with from the Vagabond Game Found campaign. So I was like, we're going to get a teleprompter to make sure that we can do more videos easier and more often. I was going to get the SM7B again because I was like, we need to improve the audio quality. But I was like, just having this like Elgato prompter right here where I'm like, I can see chat. And I'm like, yeah, talking to you guys like this. It's really weird how this like feels like it affects chat in a way. But yeah. Now, what we're doing though is adventure writing. And one of the things that I like that Evan's doing with this is, I'm so happy to see, how do I put it? I feel like I can tell whenever adventure writers don't just play, or whenever system designers rather, don't just play 5e. Because of the way that they want adventures formatted. And what's happening with Nimble, I'm like, yes, this is the way that this is just the way that the industry is going to move, and Wizards of the Coast can either get the fuck on board or they can keep doing what they're doing. But I think overwhelmingly the thing that's happened in the last like 5 years or so, I just realized that music might be coming through a little bit loud. Overwhelmingly the thing that's gotten a lot more popular with adventures in the last 5 years or so is trimming stuff down to where we have more of a bare bones idea of what to do within the story, right? What all is going on. You don't think 5e and Shadowdark are too comparable? I think some people will, just because they have a similar resolution mechanic. And like, I mean, as far as I've seen in the public discourse, that's been the thing that people are saying, is they're like, oh yeah, well Shadowdark is just a 5e hack because it uses a D20 and you add a modifier to it. Like, it's such a brain dead take. Shadowdark and 5e, like, you really can't run 5e material with Shadowdark. The damage structures are completely different. The resolution mechanic might be similar, but like, that's about where the similarities end. Now, as far as like, why would you play Shadowdark or Nimble, all this other stuff? Shadowdark is probably a more traditional dungeon crawler experience, whereas I feel like Nimble is, Shadowdark, yeah, that's what I meant. Nimble is, if you want more of the high tactic, but still like a bit of a defrag and cleanup, right? Shadowdark doesn't really offer high tactical combat. It's offering adventure quick action is really what's going on with that, right? What's happening more with Nimble is this is still doing the tactical combat of what we would get out of something like a 5e, but it's just doing it. I would say it's doing it more effectively and efficiently. Now, as to whether or not you feel that it's better, that's always going to be a subjective thing, person to person, right? It always is the most reductionist way to even see remotely logical. Yeah. But here is basically what we've been contracted to do. Bring this over here. All right. So, what all's going on right now is Evan is looking to bring on a lot more like adventure writing, and reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in writing some postcard style adventures. Which, let's talk about this. I think more often than not, a lot of people look at like their only framework for looking at doing TTRPG work is looking at D&D 5e and thinking like, I've got to think of all these different components in order to make an adventure and publish a thing, and I just don't have that in me, right? Well, that's only a thing that really exists in D&D, and maybe in some systems like maybe Monster of the Week. I think Vaesen has a little bit of this issue, is usually with like monster scenarios or monster of the Week style scenarios. It's a bit like mystery scenarios rather, kind of have this, we need to write a bit more, because I think the more narrative heavy systems like that, you know what I mean? So I think that they feel the need to cover more. Whereas with these kinds of adventures, it's almost more of an exercise in how can you express more with less, right? And I really, really dig this because number one, I like being able to just pull up like a page and be like, this is what I'm running tonight. Sweet. Shadowdark set a format. I think Shadowdark, whenever I say Shadowdark set a format, it's just the first time I had really seen it. I know JP Kubert is doing this as well. And I adore it. I want to keep doing this. If I can find it. Oh, where do I have mine? Oh, I have them down here somewhere. Well, I'll find them later. Okay, so what it is it's postcard style adventures. Okay, and what we're doing is we have here. I'll get over to this. Okay. So we have a couple of restrictions here. Just getting into like what all is going on. You're returning your adventure for this afternoon. You confirm fitting a narrative structure into 800 words is hard but very fun. Yep. So yeah, Jack's working on this as well. So a couple of restrictions here. 1 to 2 weeks to get this one done. 800 words. Woo! A lot of people are going to look at that and be like, what the fuck? How do we do this? We'll get into that. 2 to 4 traveling events. I'm used to this as like a part of the adventure that we're going to do. 6 to 10 room dungeon. Cool. All right. So I'm coming up with a couple of prompts right now. Really all Evan was asking for is a bunch of scenario prompts, and then we kind of come up with what the dungeon is and everything like that, right? You back Nimble 5e because you love the idea of paring the system down to the bone. It needs a half-page character sheet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is another thing. Too often I'm seeing a lot of 5e material is painfully overwritten. And a lot of stuff that's going on with D&D 2024 is, in my opinion, people are going to say different things. And hey, if you really like D&D 2024 and you like big spreadsheets of characters and all that other shit, and you really like overthinking the game, guess what? That's all for you. I'm happy for you. Happy you found your fucking game, right? I don't like it. So I have my preferences too. You go enjoy your preferences, I'll enjoy mine. Now, I like the idea that we can get the same kind of meat out of those types of games without having to think as fucking much, right? Whenever my life is already so like stressed out with other shit, really love just being able to like sit down, play a game and be like, hey, right? Have I checked the Discworld RPG coming out yet? Nope. I haven't read any Terry Pratchett. I haven't. So I am not the best resource on that. I don't even know what's happening with the system. Now, actually, hang on. I want to see if I can improve. Let me come in here, right? Ooh. Wait, if we do this. Because I swapped things up because of the way that the teleprompter kind of has me looking around. And do that. I put me underneath the... Oh, wait, no, shit. That's the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, and then the display has a little bit more to like... Oh. What if we do... Hang on. This? Yeah, there's more of me. I like me. There's you guys up there. Ooh, right. This looks good. We might have to do something about the chat box overhang over there, but you know what? We're okay. How do we like that? Is that better, chat? I think so. I think we're good. Right? Someone type something so I can make sure it aligns right. Someone told me what they had for breakfast today, and then what the last thing someone did that pissed you off was this morning. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's all I need. All right. So what Evan's looking for is a bunch of scenario prompts thrown at the wall. He's going to clean it up for balancing later on. Goldfish. Nice. Were they the Old Bay goldfish? Because if they weren't, you're missing out. Some of the things that he did was he threw some of the areas at us for like ideas for what we would want to like potentially write an adventure in. So a lot of these different areas, he's got like, okay, the Elder Wild, and then a bunch of different points of interest that are here, and we would be filling in the gaps for like something that's going on in this area, right? Shadow Blight, you know, here's what I chose, Skyreach Isles. Whenever he said floating islands, I was like, I can work with that, right? I saw Pterodactyl, right? And I was like, yeah, we can make that happen. With this one, I saw, because I don't think that this was the one that I saw earlier. There was a, burial mounds we can work with, right? Shifter's Den. Okay, layer of shapeshifters and... Berry groves. Okay, layers of shapeshifters and their beast companions. Hidden cairn. Marking convergence points where magical energies flow. So this is like a network of ley lines that hits this one area. I think we're probably going to wind up writing around this. Burial mounds and hidden cairns, just both immediately. I'm like, I can come up with shit for this all day long. Shifter's Den is fun. I think that there was something. I think I might have an older version because he sent me a... Oh, the copy of the PDF is wrong? You sent me the updated one. Okay, hang on. Is it the... You sent it in Discord? Is that the image you sent me the other day? Because I was like, wait, you said something about griffins. Okay, we can still do shit with this one. Yeah. In Discord, yep. Okay. And one sec. To the flow. Oh, I gotta turn up. Hang on. We got. Not only do we have to start this one over, we have to turn this shit up. Hang on. Oh, maybe not that loud. There we go. Okay, so this is the image you sent. Points of interest. Unending Spire is a great name. Long staircase. Isle of the Skyreach. Okay, I like the maze. Feathered trees. These was for secrets and tragic prophecies to drive victims mad. Okay. One of the things that, like, you've done incredibly well with this, Evan, is, like, this is another thing where I'm like, I can tell whenever people are actually paying attention to, like, the quote-unquote metaphysics of fantasy. You've done a lot of this whole, like, take the familiar, make it strange. Nothing is just like, hey, it's a maze. It's not just that it's floating, it's that there's thought put into why it's there, and then, like, why it's weird, right? Mysterious grove filled with feathered trees. Something as simple as that. Feathered trees. Thank you. The leaves whisper secrets and tragic prophecies to drive victims mad. That's sick. I love that. This is a portrait style 2-page spread. You didn't think the separation originally? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gizzard's live streams the story? I haven't. No, I haven't. I've been too worried about the crowdfunder. Now, Ship Graveyard is fun. Because there was something about griffins. And that's what I was kind of thinking about using. Stormhawk is cool. Birds of prey with lightning charged feathers, often spotted in storm clouds, hunting anything that moves in the sky. They're uploading the 4K versions for VOD on YouTube now. Oh, fuck yeah. The tongue twist. I thought there was something about griffins that I was like, yeah, let's go with that. Storm Pirate, okay. Gale Mines. Located at the core of the islands, protected by the Wind Wardens. Those on the outskirts are so vulnerable to smugglers. Closer to depletion, on the verge of crashing to the ground. That's cool. I could have sworn there was one that I was thinking about, like, yeah, that. Because I already wrote a small prompt for it. Okay, Crystal Smugglers is cool. Clueless group of adventurers set by the Explorers Guild to retrieve secret goods. Okay. Royal Nest appears to have griffins. Oh, layer of griffins and giant hawks. Thank you. Yes, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that was the first one I was like, yes. The Sunken Citadel. Not the Sunless Citadel, but the Sunken Citadel. Where's ruin of its... Okay, thanks. Remnants of the civilization older than the bird folk. By Wind Wardens and home to... Okay. Okay, this one's good, but we need... like, instrumental thought. Yeah. Anomaly. Okay. A seemingly unbearable or unremarkable island that is actually lair of a storm drake and its clutch of unhatched eggs. Okay. Someone's probably gonna bite at this for... I mean, this is something I'm gonna be writing eventually. I have a system neutral product in mind that is just the most vanilla, like, TTRPG fantasy experience you can ever write. I wanna get on, like, I wanna talk with all kinds of people that are adventure writers in the scene and just be like, give me everything you got so that we can make the most, like, dungeoniest dungeon kind of adventure we can write, right? And yeah, making it system neutral and everything. But yeah, part of that's going to involve having, of course, it's got to have a dragon in there. A towering island cloaked in perpetual storms, lair of storm drakes, and ancient shrine lies at the highest peak. Okay. You sent me some info on the setting factions on Discord. The Explorers Guild are smuggling the floating crystals from the islands in case you want to read. Okay, yeah, I'll... Wait, I'm still learning how to use this teleprompter. There we go, now I can actually read that shit. I think... Let me see here. Sports Guild hanging with the smugglers stealing crystals. Okay, the tower. Dude, you have gone in hard on the setting, huh? Withering Scenes. Okay. I will probably pull that one up while I'm not on stream. Just because it looks like a lot of information I'll have to take in real quick. I'm kind of just thinking of the prompt at the moment. So the game plays. Yeah, key NPCs. Okay, so that's a lot of NPCs involved with that one. Okay. Use it everyone. Alright, right on. Sunrise Airy. A secluded birdfolk monastery perched on the highest peak of the highest island. Place of knowledge, meditation, and training. Entry requires a series of deadly aerial trials. Okay, Ship Graveyard. A narrow circle of islands where the winds flow violently, creating a maze of currents filled with broken ships. It's kind of sick. Pirate's Hideout. A giant floating skyship, always hiding, always moving. No one enters or leaves its docks unnoticed. Okay. I'm going to leave the pirate stuff to One Piece fans. I feel like if I were to write something, I think people have a kind of certain, like, if I were to write something and someone was like, oh, Taron already did that one, I'll leave it for the One Piece fans. Mysterious grove filled with feathered trees. Okay, leaves whisper secrets and tragic prophecies to drive victims mad. Okay, so I had an idea. I don't know, it was like the first kind of prompt that came up just as I was like, okay, so I think flying islands, in like the last day. Griffins have a rare event once every 1,000 years where a golden cub is born. Locals have confirmed that the egg has been laid, but a murder of harpies has been spotted in the area. I thought about something like that as a like understandable prompt. It's got a cute griffin cub in it, so people are going to be like, "Aw, yeah, we got to go rescue the baby," right? So like that was an idea. Takes place at the royal nest. See, so we can link it in there. Okay, so we need other situations. You still haven't watched / read One Piece, right? I've watched the Netflix adaptation, which I thought was fucking rad. No, I refuse to watch the anime. It has the most obnoxious voice acting I think I've ever heard. Like, here's my deal. If it's a bunch of screaming and it sounds like a bunch of like kind of teenagers screaming, I'm out. It's not for me. Some people absolutely love One Piece. Absolutely get it. I think the story's cool. I think that the anime is rough. Yeah. But I like the live adaptation. The live adaptation's been pretty sick so far. All right. So there's that. I like the convergence of the ley lines. Was that still a thing in this new updated version? Oh shit, where's my mouse? There we go. Fair. Yeah, voice acting is really important to me. It's why I also can't watch the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z. I hate Goku's voice actor in that one. You want ley lines or ley lines? I was just trying to think of what it was, right? The anime is probably the worst way to enjoy One Piece, TBH. Yeah, it only takes like 2,000 different goddamn episodes to get through it. Yeah, no, I get you. Hey, what up, Yuke? Except for the One Piece, which is them reanimating the entire series with modern pacing. Man, if I don't know, I don't know. We'll see if they do it. Layer of griffins and giant hawks. Okay, I like this idea. Okay, a vast ring of floating boulders and shattered islands, encircling the lair of the fabled Lord of the Heavens. Okay, layer of griffins and giant hawks, rulers of the sky. Okay, assuming the unremarkable island is actually a layer of a storm drake and its clutch of unhatched eggs. Okay, towering island cloaked in perpetual storms. Okay, so my thing with like, I feel like I've written a lot of tower adventures, and I'm gonna try to avoid that for a second. That's a personal thing. I'm also trying to think of like, well, I also kind of feel like if I wrote anything with drakes and floating islands, I'm just basically gonna write Farum Azula from Elden Ring. I like the Gale Mine idea. That's something unique. I haven't really quite heard of, I guess. Is like that feels really unique. They're vulnerable. Okay, so located on the core of the islands, protected by the Wind Wardens. So I'm guessing they're mining crystals, right? So Birdfolk Hamlets. Okay, so we can do a mine kind of a thing. I like the Tempest Reef. That's just a really cool. It almost feels like something you'd see as like a Dark Souls area name. The Tempest Reef. Actually, I like the idea of Tempest Reef. That is a really cool, just evocative name in and of itself. I'm trying to see what's screaming to me right now. I like the idea of the Royal Nest. This event that we have, right? The giant hawks, rulers of the sky. Okay. Floating boulders and shattered islands encircling the lair of fabled Lord of the Heavens. So, crystals make the islands float. Pirate boys are stealing them to make the power of the sky shift in money. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, so we have a potential catastrophe going on here. Okay. Crystals. If the party fails, the island will come crashing down onto a village. Okay, so there's a scenario right there. If the entire adventure is on the Sky Island, you'll need a story. Yeah. You didn't know I was working on Nimble? I just kind of started doing some stuff, what, a week or two ago? I kind of just write whatever I get a call for. So whenever you're working in this industry, that's kind of what you do. It's not a... if you have a lot of like system allegiance to just one thing in particular, you don't really get a lot of work, is the way that I would put it. Yeah. It's worth it for... it's worth it for people to branch out and work on a lot of different systems, not just like 5e. Yeah. You're in a floating island ship for your home game. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just there's something so evocative about the vibe. It's griffins, right? Gale mines. Okay, I like the idea. This is a really, really simple one. We have the situation there. We can easily plot that into 5 rooms incredibly quickly. This is, okay, Royal Nest. So I'm thinking of prompts here. Is Nimble VCVX compatible? No, Nimble is 5e damage. Or, I believe it's 5e's damage structure. Wait, Evan, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you add modifiers to damage? Because what I'm doing here is coming up with... Yeah, what I'm doing here is coming up with a prompt and I'm kind of writing the adventure around it. You do, yeah, so it's 5e's damage structure. So then, yeah, probably not be VCVX compatible, but at the same time, take that, like, this is why I'm pushing for a lot of, like, system neutral design stuff, is, yeah, okay, it follows the 5e damage / HP curve for 20 levels, so any 5e adventure can be ran with it. There you go, yeah. But whenever you're doing system neutral stuff, I think one of the things that I would like to see more system neutral stuff kind of push is telling people, like, hey, you, what you should do is look at the stat block for that system. And are they always going to be roughly the same? No. But, like, in all reality, like, I think damage structure balance in 5e is essentially a myth. Really, the thing that's more important than damage numbers is we're talking action economy, really more so in 5e. I feel like it might be a little bit smoother with Pathfinder, but, you know, yeah. You also want system allegiances lesson among players. It's going to take a little while. I think the thing that I really like going on with the OSR space is more of the, like, kind of hacker mindset going on with it, right? Where there's a lot of sharing and sort of, like, openness to saying, like, hey, we have, like, this adventure right here. You can also use it for whatever the hell you want to, right? Or, like, yeah. So I like more of the OSR's sort of, like, bohemian kind of creative space, whereas 5e and D&D in particular feel way more rigid and structured, and yeah. Monsters ignore modifiers if they have medium armor. Okay. Yeah, I'm more so just kind of coming up with the prompt, right? The focus on damage is and ever increasing numbers in 5e is the actual problem. The action economy is the one thing almost never changes, and anything does alter it will have a disproportionate impact. Yep. Yeah, I still think the scariest thing that they ever made for 5e, at least that they ever put on a stat block, was that one thing that Vecna had. What the shit was that? It had like a... What was it? Vecna stat block 5e. It had this one reaction that I remember seeing it, and like Flute Salute told me at the time, like, holy shit, wait, have you seen this like reaction it has? Okay, I don't know that this is the official stat block, but I mean, they're using the official art. I think this is I don't know. Someone can tell me if this is this a wrong one. Okay. This was like really interesting. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, Vecna also has multiple reactions. Yep. Getting 2 reactions in an encounter is incredibly good. Like, it's already incredibly fucking good. This Dread counter spell, this might not seem like too much of anything. If you're not a spellcaster, then you're like, oh, okay, what the hell ever. Anytime that you're casting, this is essentially saying that if Vecna is a being in your like campaign world, it's not safe to be a spellcaster. Like, and I thought that was kind of sick. If Vecna utters a dread word to interrupt a creature he can see that is casting a spell. If the spell's now you see this, he can see, right? Everyone was like, oh, okay, this is like whatever, right? Yeah, not only does it counterspell healing, but because it says he can see, and this motherfucker got scrying that he can cast, this is just, he's Freddy Krueger. This is a thing that is supposed to haunt a spellcaster's dreams, which I thought was sick. I like this reaction that's going on in here, but I will straight up say, there is way too much word here for a stat block. You did not connect that. Yeah, it's a really cool little interaction that goes on there. It's actually, I would basically say this is supposed to feel a bit like what Vecna's doing in Stranger Things. As a little spoiler, you know. You always need subtle spell. I mean, that is casting a spell. It doesn't specifically say that he has to see them cast the spell. Like, they're casting a spell. He can see them if they're casting a spell. It doesn't say that he has to see them cast the spell. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I thought that this was a really cool little interaction in here, and it is kind of a nightmare. Now, as to how effective that has ever been, like, has anyone used this? I have no idea. But it feels unintended. What, the interaction in here? Scrying to counterspell their, do that? If that's unintended, then they accidentally stumbled into something that was an awesome horror, you know? It doesn't even follow the rules of counterspell. What the fuck? I don't think so. He can disable healing. Rotten Fate? No. Afterthought. What was it? I feel like I remember something like that because he has a dagger, right? Yeah, he's got Afterthought. I was trying to remember what exactly it was that went on with this. But basically, here's one of the kind of things, like, I guess one of my problems right here with Vecna as a stat block goes. So whenever we fought Vecna, I was playing a 20th level Barbarian, and Ted from Nerd Immersion was running Vecna. And I think we all kind of got to a point where we felt like Ted even said it. He was pulling punches because it was taking too long. And it was like, oh, so then, you know, and this isn't Ted's fault at all. It's 5e. It's like, this is an overwhelming stat block. And I think a lot of people have this idea in their mind that, like, this means something that's way more cinematic and way cooler. In all reality, nobody actually runs half of this motherfucking stat block or reminds it or remembers it or what the hell ever. Everyone can say whatever they want to. I'm sure you're like a really good DM or everything. It's just, this is not happening. So I've seen plenty of people who are like, they know 5e, they have a lot of system mastery. They even still look at this and go, this shit's too much. This is obnoxious. I'm not going to worry about all this. Yeah, it's so cumbersome. So to me, I really prefer the thought of like, I need to know like a major defense. If it has any more than like 3 traits, then like, you know, but these traits that are in here need to also be only pertaining to how it would affect a single combat, right? Yeah, I don't think I've ever run a 5e legendary monster correctly. I never have. I'm always like, this is what's fun and in the moment or whatever, and I'm going to go with that. Not like, oh, it's unusual in nature, so I'm going to have to remember it doesn't sleep or eat or... No, this is completely unnecessary in a stat block. All we have to really know is like, how does it affect what's happening during the combat, right? Otherwise, put this shit out as common sense, like, hey, this is over here, right? You're distinctly in the minority here because you love this shit. I guarantee you, like, much respect to you, Jack. I know that you've got a lot of system mastery. I know, like, you work your ass off and everything. I guarantee you're not using half of this. Like, if you were to film yourself trying to run this stat block and watch it back to see if you ran it perfectly, there were no, like, quote-unquote misplays, then, like, I don't think you're going to find that you've used the majority of it. 5e, and 5e is utterly tame compared to 3rd edition stat blocks. I mean, here's the deal. So what I believe that they tried to do, and this is like, whenever D&D got into Wizards of the Coast hands, they immediately started to think they wanted everything to compete with World of Warcraft, right? And the thing is, it's not supposed to be that. This was always supposed to be its own deal. And I think D&D got a little bit misguided, where it was like, it just didn't know, Wizards of the Coast never knew what they wanted this to be. And they kept thinking that they were improving this game from the 80s or whatever. And so in trying to like compete with video games, they were making things infinitely harder on dungeon masters. And it's like, we just don't need to know. Whenever I talk about like 5e being more simulation heavy, people always take that as me trying to say that like 5e is too hard to run, or like I've got like poo-poo brain or what the hell ever. Like, look, if you're looking for a dig or something like that, or like you need to feel smart, I'm sure you're smart, but like find some validation in somewhere else in your life. Okay. What I'm saying right here is from an accessibility viewpoint, this shit right here, 90% of people, probably greater, are going to look at this and be like, I don't want a dungeon master. I just want to play a character. So like, if you make your game easier to run for dungeon masters, you're going to get more of them. I promise you. More people want to world build and like run the game than you think. Okay. They love coming up with situations. Okay. Yeah. There's a legendary monster from Nimble. Yep. Now, also, I will just say right here, because I know that this is going to be something that people are going to be like, Taron, you're Mr. I know. Vecna's a CR26, and we're talking about a Manacor over here, okay? Evan literally just sent me a sample of how simple this looks for, like, I guarantee you, if we pulled up the Manacor from 5e, it's going to be way bigger than this shit right here. The Manacor... Feral Instinct, whenever the Ravager is a crit, he can fly up to 50 feet. Okay, actions. After each hero's turn, choose one. Yeah, so they can also, like, take actions after each hero's turn, not just, like, they only get one turn in the entire round, right? You never got this argument against your design philosophy. The problem is, it's a lot of people that think that I'm just shitting on their favorite game. And there's a lot of people that can't take the fact that some people don't like the thing that they like, and that other people that don't like the thing that they like will bother to talk about that thing and maybe why they don't like that thing, right? And maybe that thing that they're saying, if they have legitimate constructive ideas around why they don't like it, and they can form that idea a lot better and voice it well, they might even get hired on because, like, shit, they had really good critique for this thing. So we call critique, right? Yeah, stop pooping on my thing. Stop yucking my yum. All this other shit, right? Now, if you're just kind of like digging at something like, huh, this is not really the thing I like, so like, fuck this. No, like, that's just hating on a thing. If you're able to bring up like, hey, I've got a problem and like, here's why, and express it, give it like, hey, okay, I'll hear you out, right? But if what you're going is like, hey, like, Vecna's gray here. Woke much D&D? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, okay, there is too much happening in the stat block right here. If you looked at a Lich from like Shadowdark, OSR stuff, right? Back in Basic Expert, Liches did not require this much bullshit and anxiety-riddled, overwritten insanity to know, like, hey, here's how we run it, you know? Yeah, well, it's not even a negative take. It's just like, you're bringing up a qualm that you have with a thing. That's fine. So they're uncertain after each year, easier to balance with varying party sizes. Some stat blocks for almost any party size. Yep. I like the idea. I kind of thought about, like, my kind of concern with that always broke down to, like, what Will from D&D Shorts was saying about how, like, okay, so Daggerheart's got this one problem. Or at least it did. I haven't seen the playtest since Will originally brought this up, but I agreed with him. By the way, like, go watch Will's video on Daggerheart. Like, honestly, if you want a really good, like, video review of the system, I know people have been hounding me for it, but I already know it's not a thing that, like, I would get on Daggerheart and basically be saying that, like, it's a theater kid game. Like, that's what my critique would basically break down to. And then people would be like, he's just hating on it. And I'm like, it's not my fucking vibe, dude. I don't like Taylor Swift. And if I'm like, you know what? Her music is for, teenage girls who think that their one boyfriend was like the love of their life and they're going to be heartbroken forever. I could say that. And I'm like, it's not my vibe, right? And then, what the hell ever, right? So, with Daggerheart, there's a weird quirk that kind of comes up with Daggerheart where it could be argued that players are rewarded for not taking their turn. Because of the way that the action economy works, where it's like a trade-off. Like, if I take a turn and fail a thing, there's a chance that the boss monster is more likely to take their turn, or I can just not take my turn and this boss monster doesn't get this point over here. Now, the easiest way you would fix this is to say, if you don't do anything on your turn, that is adding a point of fear to the boss monster. So it will go, it will eventually go. But I guess the fact that this wasn't added in the original was, there are ways to fix that. It's just that, Will brought that critique up and I was like, hey, okay, I get it. Just like a theater kid game to incorporate smoking breaks during the game. They ditched the action tracker and replaced it with just fear. You had no idea if it fixed the issue. Like, literally all they would have had to do to fix that is just say, if a player doesn't take their turn or take their action, that monster gets fear. Like, they get to add this fear in, right? Or they lose a hope. And that keeps everything moving. Because, like, they had a decent idea going on with the trade-off. But, like, the problem is, it wasn't accounting for something that would happen if someone didn't take their turn. These are the kinds of things that some game designers, while we're thinking about it in playtests and everything, sometimes we'll catch this. But if all you're really hearing is the kind of feedback from people who are active in TTRPGs, and they know that, like, okay, this is the kind of thing that they would want to get out of the game. Okay, cool. Sometimes you learn a lot more about a rule by just giving it to somebody who doesn't know anything about games. And other times, it's breaking out of the circle of yes men in your sphere in order to get somebody who was, like, willing to poke and prod at the thing to see how something might get fucked up. Overwhelmingly. And this is something that, like, some people have asked me about like really effective feedback and playtests and everything, and like what I do with feedback when I get it, right? I will tell you right now, if you're doing a playtest and like the feedbacks that someone keeps giving you, if I'm like, hey, what can you tell me about this feature? And their answer is, very cool, like feature, like the feature, right? I fire this playtester immediately. I say like, I don't care to have you in my sessions anymore because you're not actually giving me feedback on this. If you're just saying very cool, I like this thing, this person, I consider that a yes man, and I'm like, you got to get out of the playtest phase. However, if there's certain things that I can tell, like after using this much of a resource, I felt useless to the group. Okay, then I kind of look at this and I'm like, okay, so somebody had a bad feel from it, right? There was a bad feel that was produced. I felt useless to the group. Now, is this coming from a place of reason? Or does, you kind of have to analyze where this feedback came from, right? I can tell, though, that the person who was giving me this feedback is at least trying to be earnest about it, and they're not scared to tell me something about the game didn't make them feel great. I'll tell you what, my favorite like playtest feedback I've ever gotten is from people I could tell had gripes with the game. If people were like just telling me they love the thing, I don't call them for another playtest. I'm like, cool, you're satisfied, later customer, right? I'm looking for people who like want to see the thing improve, and like dungeon masters who have run Vagabond and have gotten me back goddamn like essays on it. I'm like, mi amigo, like that is exactly like if it is, you get me back the feedback and it is usable, constructive, and I'm like, I can tell you were trying to find things in the game that you would appreciate more, or like that you would want to use more or emphasize on or maybe build off of. That's the kind of feedback that I'm always like, fuck yeah, thank you, right? There was I remember this because there was an event in the middle of the Vagabond playtest that was a sign to me that there were some people involved with the playtest that didn't need to be involved with it anymore. And there was a change that I made around the cast checks, and I ran a playtest, or I ran a demo where Treant Monk was involved, and Treant Monk gave me some feedback that was similar to what some people in the playtest were telling me, and yet the playtesters that were telling me this stuff were upset that I didn't listen to them first before listening to Treant Monk. And I was like, yes, it's Treant Monk. You told me it made you feel bad, right? But when it's Treant Monk and I'm hearing his basically dissection of the vibe to it, it's a different thing than this person who's in the Discord server who I never had a conversation with, who hasn't ever told, I haven't seen their credentials. I don't know who the fuck this person is. And yet Treant Monk, who like I've had great mechanic conversations going back for like the last 3 years, like 2 or 3 years, who like knows his shit, right? And I can tell, I know Chris's brain. I know whenever Chris is looking at a game, like the way he's looking at it is the kind of feedback I want. Like, this is a resource management problem. What does this dude who crunches out resource management systems all think about this at the moment? Yes, his feedback is more valuable than Joe Schmo over here, right? And if this person feels bad about being called Joe Schmo, I'm a dude on the internet. I'm not your fucking friend, okay? So, whenever, like, some playtest feedback is just generally more valuable. It is. If that sounds harsh, don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just the reality of the world. So I have to value somebody who is like putting in the work to run a campaign. I need to look at their feedback more than the guy who got me feedback of like, I don't like this feature name. It doesn't make me feel like it. I'm like, I can't care about that. I can't care. So if you find the playtesters who care enough about your thing to like give you that thorough feedback and like look at providing reasonable, like constructive answers for like, this might have possibly felt a little bit better, this is more confusing, if they can express why they were confused about a thing, God, man, best playtester. If you want to be a good playtester, here's the thing to do. You need to be thinking constantly, here we go. If I have a problem with something in a game, why do I have that problem? Self-diagnose your issues before bringing them up to the designer. Do this. If you're getting involved with a playtest whatsoever, start thinking about this. If I say, this spell didn't feel good, and that's all I provide, I'm going to get fired from that playtest. I'm going to get let go, right? Because this spell didn't make me feel good is not feedback. That's not. It's just, okay, sorry about you. Whatever. Like, maybe if it's more of a like, you know what? I personally just feel like it didn't last as long as I would need it to. Or like, it was doing a d6 of damage against the thing that it was weak to, and that just kind of felt unintuitive as I was like, you know what I mean? Like, people will mistakenly think that once they're a part of the community or places that they're on your team or working on the game. Yeah, that's a part of the parasociality to it that I think we kind of saw and addressed. There is a point where a playtester can get more parasocial and they think that they have ownership of your game in some capacity. That is not the case. Not the case. Hey, there are a lot of people that are like, you know, consistent in my communities. Love talking with you. I love, you know, having you around. There's like, I have a lot of relationships that I'm like, we are friendly. We're also doing business, right? And we have this like, it's not only business, but it's like, hey, we understand, like, we work together, right? We work and we can make stuff together. And that's cool. I love having that, right? Good time zone love. Hey, how's it going, Phil? Phil Urbanic, not Phil. Phil PH. It's like we keep I'm going to work on your thing, right? We talk money, we do the thing, right? And then we work together. We can build up, like, you know, being buddy. But if it's just like you're a part of my community and I don't know who you are, but you're in my chats a lot, I'm like, okay, cool, nice to see you, right? It's part of the, since the community, it's almost like we're church friends, I guess is the way I would put it, right? Where it's like, hey, this is the person I see at church, right? There's the pastor leading the congregation. Hey, everybody, heads down, I'll lead you in prayer, right? Hey, okay. But in terms of like, you know, hey, I know that this guy's really good with my car, or, you know, he's really good with cars. Hey, could I, if you would like change my car for me, I'll get you like $100 and I'll see you at church on Sunday, right? Things like that. Mutuals, not friends. I can see that, you know? Yeah. It's not unfriendly, you know? It's like everybody's kind to each other, but it's not a matter of like, hey, this is a person who I call to like, I bitch about life to, or whatever, you know? There's friends who I have that are privy to more like, hey, gotta talk about this argument I had, you know, with Amanda, or like, man, shit's just really rough right now. Can I just like call you an event or whatever, right? But yeah, as far as like an online personality, it's like you got to know where that line is severed, you know. Now, all of that is a big workaround. God, I swear to God. Okay, all that. Let's get back into this right here. Now, what we need. Okay, Royal Nest. I'm thinking. Okay, so Weak flooring. Straw, instructions. Griffins. Griffin eaten corpses. Horses and such. Okay. Enemies. Harpies. I guess this is factions. Harpies, Griffins. I guess the bird folk are somewhat involved in this. Okay. Maybe EG, we'd have to figure out items. I guess loot, rather. Have to think about some things with that. And always, one of the things that really always helps out with like constructing a dungeon like this. So think about our guardian. The thing that kind of keeps them from getting there, right? So, extreme gusts. Someone was talking about storms. I kind of think that someone else is probably going to be writing a lot around this as a guardian. One crucial thing with feedback is sometimes playtesters don't have to be the ones to provide the solution. They should be the ones to identify the problem. More there to identify the problem. Yeah, operational issues, I think. Yeah, like, hey, I wrote this new feature. What do you guys think? And if they're like, it's confusing because I don't know how to write it, or I don't know how to play with this, good. I can still use that. Like, it's confusing. I don't know what this does. Yes, please tell me that. Like, that's good. Like, I don't know what this does. Please tell me that, instead of someone going like, aha, yeah, this is nice. I should even put in some like canary traps in some playtests where I'm like, this is supposed to be confusing. If this person won't be willing to tell me that this is confusing, they should not be involved with playtests anymore. Because if they one piece alone, if they can't like recognize that something is confusing, they just don't need to be in there. Adventures. Because, like, that tells me they're not really actively engaging with it enough to recognize that something was written poorly. Here we go. And as always, like, this is not a... it's not any kind of a, like, hey, you gotta be addicted to this person kind of a thing. It's just, at the end of the day, you need something. Yeah, a honeypot test for a bad playtester. Yeah, I think it's needed. There's a lot of people who overestimate just how well they would contribute to playtest phases, just because they think they really like TTRPGs, and all the playtest phase is going to be is just like playing the game, and that's not what's going on. You need to find mechanic issues, and sometimes it's like, hey, I wrote something that like, here, if I write this, yeah, let me see here. All right, cool. Why is this bad? Let's recognize it in chat. Someone in chat, tell me why this feature would be a canary trap. I want to see who's good or bad playtester. Why is this trap, or why is this a poorly written mechanic? You can heal D6 hit points. Who do you heal? How far? Oh, there's that. Yeah. How many D6? Well, if it's just written like this, it's always assumed 1d6. Other conditions that trigger it? Yeah, no conditions, actions, or triggers. Yep. Yep. You need, typically what you're going to need is you need a resource cost, right? You need a cost. This could be action, point, resource, whatever, right? So you need a cost. Condition, and then resolutions, reward, right? I do a thing, action, cool. Under the condition of I can touch this person, I can do what the hell ever, right? Yeah, who, what, when, where. Yep. Resolutions and reward. What do you get out of it? You heal them for D6 hit points. It's usually like how we see mechanics conveyed, right? So this is another thing that I've seen with like a lot of amateur homebrew is they don't recognize this pattern. If it just says you can heal D6 hit points, I'm like, what do I do? What do I, yeah. As much as people hate ratbaggers, they're very good at sniffing out weird interactions. Here's the deal. I don't mind ratbaggers. They have their place, right? But the thing with ratbaggers is it also comes down to like, that just sounds like a slur. I kind of want to avoid ratbaggers. I'm like, I've said that now and I'm like, I'm not sure yeah. So like the idea there, right? So if they're looking at what all is in the like interaction, right? And it's like, okay, we have, you can heal D6 hit points. Okay, well, this is a problem because like I can heal D6 hit points when. If that's just whenever, okay, I'm just going to sit back. You took damage from that thing? Oh, not anymore. You just healed all that up. You know, it's just yeah. The PC way to address them is the rodent optimizers. Thank you very much. Fair. Yeah. So like we can fix this really easy, right? As an action, right? You can use your action to heal a target, right? We're already getting conditions in here. You can touch. Ooh, okay. Right? That's cake. Accidentally posted from your other account. Are you sock puppeting? Wait, what? You're posting in chat with two separate accounts? What are you doing? So you can use your action to heal a target you can touch for D6 hit points. Okay? You can use your action, so there's a cost in there to heal a target you can touch for D6 hit points. Okay, well that's a mechanic that works. You know, that's a mechanic that works. People will assume your intent, not because you're a large creator and because there's a power imbalance. However, it actually, people just don't, you know, if you're, wait, what? People will assume your intent because you're a large creator and there's a power imbalance. However, it actually, people, wait, just don't, but you're not actually friendly. You're not always friendly to them when talking. I'm not totally sure. What yeah, I'm not totally sure what that might be hitting. But if it comes down to a thing where like, yeah, well, you're not always friendly when talking. I'm not always friendly when I'm talking. You know, yeah, I realize that. There's plenty of different factors as to why like someone might be grouchy for the day or you know whatever's going on. I would say that generally, I'm trying to get information from people about a project that's going on. And I simply don't have time to always like really massage the interaction. I need quick, like, tell me what's going on, right? I've also just got a million other things going on, and if I have someone that's like drama dumping in the middle of like something I'm doing, I'm gonna be like, we gotta stop talking about this. I'm sorry, you can't be using my playtest as a form of you like unloading your life story on the people in the playtest. That's not what we're here for. So like, if that's the side of it, I gotta nix it. You know, I got it, and I gotta be that guy. You know, I like. That's another thing, is like, there's plenty of content creators who were like, you know what, in that, I'm just going to block it and not really deal with it. To me, I'm like, we got to move on. You know, and like, some people that rubs the wrong way, hey, I got to be me, though. Like, I got to do me. And if I'm like, I need to get through this project, I need some info on this thing. And someone's telling me about how their girlfriend took the apartment and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, I am not your therapist. Playtesting is work and you're not there to feel validated for. I mean, yeah, you know, like, I've got to do other shit, you know, and like, if you're there and the reason you got there is because you don't have anyone else to really talk with about life issues that are going on, I feel terrible for you, but that's not the reason why we're supposed to be there, you know? But I can become your therapist? Fuck no, no, that is not on me. No. Gusts and Storms. Okay, we need a guardian. Oh yeah, usually when we're thinking about the structure, it kind of helps to start out with this line here. this outline rather. Okay, conflict and aftermath. It's not the exact words for it, but 5-room dungeon structure will help you out. Just use it, people. Okay. Yeah, people see you as a content creator having a boundary and taking that personally. Oh, I know, right? Oh, nail on the head. Okay. So conflict. As always, harpies are we have as one, right? I like twist setback. Twist. Twister setback, right? I think that's what it was originally. I think I just thought trap, and that was what was. Yeah. Sorry, I got traps on the brain. The way that I typically do this is I'll do the outline and then we start filling it in where we need, right? So aftermath, this is probably not going to be a literal room. These are going to be things like, oh, okay, well, we know good ending, bad ending, right? Whenever I'm constructing anything for an adventure, this is the kind of path I'm going through, right? Harpies and griffins can snatch people up. Maybe there's an important NPC trapped in the nest. So we got to kind of figure out, I guess, a couple different things in here with the factions. So harpies, griffins, and giant hawks, bird folk. We have the travel section we have to think of. So some events, he said he wants 2 to 4 travel situations. Because you have a few thousand subscribers, you're suddenly Mr. Moneybags. That's for YouTube, where you abuse your power against others instead, having a normal, simple conversation. Yep. People don't know how the fuck to talk to people online, or I figured this out the other day. This was what actually really drives me crazy about interacting online, and what was killing my fucking vibe for like making content is motherfuckers thinking way too deep about someone saying anything whatsoever. Like, if I'm just like, okay, it's literally, you want to know my least favorite thing about being online? It's the fucking, you must hate waffles, assholes, right? Hey, I like pancakes, you must hate waffles. Those assholes who keep doing that and like intentionally misconstruing everything you say just to be like, you're kind of a shit person. Oh, dude, no, please get the fuck out of my vibe. Yeah. I see that happen so much. And the more and more that I've been like, kind of thinking about do I hate waffles? I fucking love waffles. What are you talking about? Put peanut butter inside the little traps, the syrup and everything? No, dude, waffles fuck so hard. I also love pancakes too. You know what? I realize that this is an incredibly divisive issue, but like I would rather unite us, right? The fucking crepe will not divide us. So like what I've been trying to do here lately is, if I see that happening, there's like 2 or 3 things I keep seeing that I'm like, I feel so much healthier doing this now. So there's another thing that, like, okay, whenever people talk, they're going to generalize. Yeah. So whenever people talk, they're going to generalize. But what's happening right now is people are overgeneralizing to rage bait over on Twitter. And I'm seeing this happen so much more now that I've recognized what was happening here. So there's a lot of like spam farm accounts. This used to happen like, let's say like 2 or 3 years ago, where people would overgeneralize and say some shit like, hey, white people need to shut the fuck up about this thing over here. And it's like, okay, you know what? I get it. There's a situation going on that, like, hey, probably the people that shouldn't be voicing something about this is like white people. Okay, maybe it's time to like take a back seat and like listen. All right, I got it. I get you. Right, stay in your lane, that kind of thing. It has turned into spam bots overgeneralizing just to try and piss people off. And this is now turning into a like, oh Christ, Twitter is broken with this kind of a mindset right now. But also it's like, it's like you can get it, and you can also be like, dude, but this shit's, we probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. People are gonna talk and they're gonna generalize, but also I'm seeing people generalizing as a form of pissing you off intentionally. And it's like, I have thought so many times about deleting my Twitter in the last like 3 weeks. I've thought about it before. I've put my Twitter on hiatus and everything, but one of the, like, this kind of reminds me of back whenever, like, okay, anytime I've ever quit smoking, the thing that's made me actually stick to it has been not wanting to anymore. And Twitter is getting like, people are actually now straight up paid for being inflammatory on Twitter now. Yeah. The thing that's always been successful in making quitting smoking like stick has been that I don't want to smoke. Smoking becomes unappealing. And with Twitter, it was like, the thing that made me go like, yeah, I really do want to delete it this time, wasn't a thing of like, oh, I don't know how to handle Twitter anymore, and or like people have chased me off or what the fuck ever. It's literally just been like, this site fucking sucks now, man. Like, it's just, I'll get on Twitter and it's like, holy shit, the most porn-brained motherfuckers just posting like, did you guys see the thing about the chick from Resident Evil? And like, what, it was just like the Spanish goon or whatever the hell his name was, that was like, why doesn't she look like this? And it's the most like sex dolled out, oh my god, okay, hang on, let me find this. This is so fucking funny, and it just goes to show that, like, dude, we have broken some men in this world. This was so fucking funny. Where was this? What was her name? It's not Ashley. Who is it? Resident Evil. This post has been going around like crazy. No, wait, was it Silent Hill? No, maybe it was a Silent Hill character. No, not Jill, sorry. There's been 2 of these posts going around. Oh, I'm so glad I opened that up off screen. Where was this? It's like a, yes. Oh my god, who is this character? Angela. Holy shit, Angela. Okay. This is one of the fucking funniest posts. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it's Silent Hill 2. Yeah, so the context for this is like Silent Hill 2 just got remastered, dropped, whatever. There's a character in there named Angela, right? So Angela is a very like just toned down like woman wearing a gray sweater, brown pants, and like otherwise just sort of seems like a traumatized person, right? However, apparently, we're not even talking about a person who is represented as... Here, I'll show you their original depiction. Okay? So the original depiction of Angela... Let me see here. Let me see the original. Okay. So, like, this is what Angela looks like in the original Silent Hill. Okay? Like, yeah, graphics are not incredibly great, right? Silent Hill 2 Remastered comes out, and she looks like a woman, right? This looks like a woman who doesn't have a ton of makeup on. She's in a horrifying situation. It's the Silent Hill franchise, okay? Like, we're talking about some really dark narratives that happen with fucking Silent Hill, okay? Now, apparently, her look in the remaster was not this fucking guy's favorite thing in the world, because he tried to propose a different model for Angela. And we have, oh my Christ, anime and porn have broken the modern man. Holy shit. This is, how do you... This is no, that's the thing. This guy has doubled down on this. Like, I saw a post happen earlier. Like, I'm not involved with, like, I'm not like a huge Silent Hill super fan or anything like that, right? Like, this was just, as someone who's outside, as someone who's on the outside of the fandom, seeing shit like this, I was like, what the fuck is happening over here? And then I looked into it and I was like, oh, this is just like the most gooner-addled brain dude out there, like, in existence. Motherfucker took his time to, like, I don't think this has got to be an AI modeled thing. Like, holy fucking shit. In the context of the game, like, this character design 100% makes sense, right? If you're playing a porn game and, like, whatever, look, this works, okay? You want this kind of character, you're playing a porn game, fine, you go do this, right? But it's Silent Hill. Like, what does this dude just want to be jerking off 24/7? This guy just wants the blowjob robot that just sits there right on his desk, you know? Like, I saw this earlier and I was like, guys, look, 35-year-old dude here, okay? Hey, plan some time to, like, go to a community event, okay? And, like, try to actually talk with people. And be like, hey, I don't want anything out of this interaction other than, like, maybe to feel better, right? I want to feel like I have made a human connection. You feel good, right? If you're a man, hey, guess what? You have a hobby? I bet you can find other women that are into that hobby. You know? It's like a normal hobby, you know? Even if you're like let's say like a furry, there's got to be other women that are in that scene that are like, hey, I'm not necessarily looking for, like, a sexual partner. It'd be fun to actually just talk about, like, hey, what's your experience like as a, you know, like, there are, oh my God. I have a ton of, like, chick friends here in the YouTube space. And, like, you guys have seen me, like, bring some of them on for videos or do whatever. And I hear constantly about how there are just chatters or, like, commenters that they just seem broken. They just seem like they can't mention anything other than, hey, you showed your shoulders in this video. It's like, what made you think that? What the fuck? I'm like, dude, what? She's doing a video over here about, like, immersion or something like that. And what makes someone go like, you showed your shoulders? Like, oh my, you have to understand that, like, that can probably make some people feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know? Like, oh my God. Or getting involved in their hobbies? Yeah, like, it could be as simple as, like, hey, what are you interested in? Like, I'm really curious in talking with, like, an incel, like, maybe, like, hey, do you have a hobby? Like, what are those things that make you feel satisfied? That doesn't involve, you know, jacking off or what the hell ever. What is it that makes you feel like, you know, yes, fulfilled in life, right? Like, or if you don't have that, can we find that thing for you, right? Clip those 5 seconds out of context. Let's go. I'm so used to just giving people sound bites anymore. So many people are like, well, I thought you were like an RPG thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, but we talk like humans in the fucking chat. You know? Yeah. In a way, homeboy interacts with people IRL. Dude, I think that might be it. There's just like an extreme level of introversion where, like, I mean, COVID did not help. Dude, COVID super did not help. I knew that as a teacher who went right back into the classroom after, like, the pandemic had mostly wrapped up. And it was like, wow, we have a lot of young brains we have to fix. Yeah, I think COVID did break a lot of people. Like, dude, it's rough. And it's like, also, okay, whenever, like, women are acting flirty or something online, it's not an invitation to, like, jump their ass. You know, no, like, there's, you know what's really fun? Like, here's what's really fun to have women friends is, to flirt and, like, you don't mean anything by it. Platonic flirting. All right. It's just goofy. All right. It's just dumb. And like Amanda's like confident in that she knows like I'm not cheating on her, right? It's a platonic thing that like people who have had friends like out of their like gender understand that like, hey, I'm not trying to fuck my friend over here, you know. It's just I don't know, she looks hot in this, so I'm gonna be like, damn, your ass looks good. You know, and it's not a like but it's also, I understand there's some women that are like cool with that, and there's some women that aren't, you know, and like whatever. One of the fun things about having platonic friends outside of your gender is like friendly flirting. That's super fun. Okay. And like also just, I don't like I'll tell you right now, one thing that feels really good as a dude is just women saying to like your significant other, like, man, you found a good guy. You know, like, that feels so cool to have women that are friends that talk with Amanda and they're like, yeah, man, you found one of the good ones. And I'm like, there we go. You know, I'm like, motherfuckers will go out of their way to make other people's relationships weird. Right? Like, it's, yeah, straight into your face. Oh man. Anyways, yeah. Seeing the goddamn, I don't know why in the last week that specifically has seemed so much more of a big deal. But I was just like, dude, I just don't think, okay, I think there are just some men who have gotten behind a camera and have years of awkward interactions with women, and they're just bringing that goddamn energy out on the internet, and it's like, oh, I don't know. That was right. Oh, later, Jack. Check you later, man. Ooh, okay. Okay. It catches. The egg is replaced. He's not a third. God damn it! I said I wasn't gonna be everyone's. Yeah. All right. The egg is hatches. The egg is replaced. The egg is wrong. Ooh, this is a fun. Okay. Usually, what I'll try to do with this is like I try to just mood board by throwing a bunch of ideas out there and seeing what feels compelling. So, like the egg hatches. Okay. That's is it a twist? Eh. The egg hatches. Here, we'll do this. I think the egg is wrong is kind of funny. Egg breaks, I guess. But like, here's the deal. Doing egg breaks out of player control. And likely a bottleneck. Okay, what do I mean by this? A bottleneck cinematic. I really try to avoid any kind of cinematics that require events to occur. If your experience in dungeon design is like basically only in video games, you're going to have to break this habit right here. I see this happen quite a lot where people think like, okay, like usually like in Zelda, right? So like in Zelda, one of the things that'll usually happen in a dungeon is there's like a big cinematic event and people think like, aha, that was really cool in that dungeon. I'm going to carry that over to my TTRPG stuff. So there's things that you can apply from video game dungeons to your dungeon design, but yeah, no QuickTime event type shit. Yeah. QuickTime events and everything like that don't fit in a TTRPG. Whenever we're talking like something specific happening, never plan for the NPCs to do something incredibly specific, right? Yeah, you need to hear that story. Wait, what? We're in an era now where people can talk to each other without social interaction, without interacting socially. That's great. So never plan for the NPCs to do something incredibly specific that affects the dungeon's overall plot line. Okay? What do I mean by this? I absolutely hate doing this. I despise keyed doors. Okay. TTRPGs, people have given me pushback on this. I'm just going to say this straight up. If you disagree with me on this, I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. You're just fucking wrong. Keyed boss doors do not work in TTRPGs. If you believe that they do, the rogue is sitting right motherfucking there. Okay? So if your dungeon is designed like Zelda, where it says, this is a big formula for the Zelda dungeon design. There is a boss key in the dungeon that allows you to open up the boss door to get to the boss, right? Now, if I'm playing a TTRPG, one of the things I'm going to do is, as a rogue, think, oh, okay, well, I want to pick that locked door right there. Oh, you gotta stop doing that, right? You can use cutscenes, but mostly as works to the setup where you start a session. That's not, we're talking about cutscenes in the middle of like a dungeon or something like this. Don't video game brain this. Don't try to like replace it with video game isms and stuff like that. That's not a good way to develop a strong sense of TTRPG design. You have to realize these are two different formats. Okay. In TTRPGs, we are practicing, we are trying to practice practicality over look how cool I can present a narrative in front of you, right? In a video game, you have a computer that is running a lot of stuff for you, that can keep track of a lot of things for you. In a TTRPG, we have to think about practicality. If you want to look at like one of the best examples, I will tell you right now, the best money, the best money you can spend in TTRPGs to like learn the format is going to be to pick up the Adventure Anthology from Exalted Funeral. Here we go. Here you go. Real-time puzzles don't translate into turn-based strategy. Yep. Here you go. Go pick this up. Legitimately, this is like the best book that has been put out for TTRPGs, at least in the last like year or two. This might be one of the best purchases I ever made as a creator. Looking at this and reading through it, and by the way, if you pick this one up because you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna criticize it and all that stuff, don't do that. Pick this one up, and I'm going to tell you right now to read it like a textbook. Okay. You need to read this and start making observations for what these really fucking clear masters of the format have written in their dungeons. Adventure Anthology 2 also exists, and from what I heard that they were going to continue on this series, and they definitely should. These are 4 dungeons that are essentially flawless. And in reading through this, you need to look at how they express this for a tabletop RPG and be thinking about like, okay, why did they write this certain way? And just ask questions about it. Why did they write this a certain way? Make notes about it. Why is it like this and not like this over here? This is one of my favorite, just one of my favorite books I've ever purchased. And I learned so much more from this than I ever did out of reading anything in a Dungeon Master's Guide. Period. You'll see Jeweler's Sanctum. I've thought about doing a video on a couple times because this is so damn close to a perfect dungeon. Especially if you're studying 5-room dungeon format, you need to pick this one up. You need to pick this one up and look through it and start trying to label where you think the the Guardian, the interaction, the twist or setback, the conflict, and the aftermath. Where does this all take place throughout it? It is a perfect 5-room dungeon. I don't. Yeah. the people that are involved with this also, like Brad Kerr. I think that Brad Kerr is like, boy, this dude's just a fucking rock star when it comes to like modern dungeon designs. One of my favorite writers out there right now. I think that Brad Kerr is going to wind up being a guy that I think 5-10 years down the line, people are going to be looking back at like, you just need to study this. Brad's name is going to be as famous as like Janelle Jaquays. I'm dead serious. But yeah. So pick that one up. Go like try to analyze what's happening with these dungeons and why they're written practically for TTRPGs, right? Are you saying that the defend a thing trope doesn't work in TTRPGs? The consequence of the design is that the thing might make it to the end. It's derailed. Just curious. The defend a thing trope. How do you mean? That the defend a thing trope might not work in TTRPGs. What I'm saying here is like this, the egg breaks. So you kind of jumped ahead there, right? Could make it for a cool video, by the way. I've thought about it a couple times. So the egg breaks out of the player control and likely a bottleneck cinematic. What do I mean by this? If you are there is a point where this is fine. There is a point where this is horrible, right? If what you say is this NPC breaks the egg in front of the players, right? Well, what if they kill that NPC? What if like, okay, so we have too many contingencies, right? You cannot and you should not try to write for every contingency. Yeah. It can be a consequence, but it works less as a midpoint inciting action. Bingo. Yes. If you state that this happens, you are setting up your dungeon to break. Okay. But if you say like, hey, this guy will try to do this, you'll feel yourself start to get freed up a lot more about how these things are made. Okay. So if I'm like, hey, this guy's intention wants to break the egg. Okay. So the events that evolve around the campaign, this could happen, right? It could happen at a certain point. It must happen to progress the story. Whenever you're doing TTRPG dungeon design, stop writing things. Writing that must happen to progress. Okay. The things that make dungeons so much more fun is whenever you open it up like a jungle gym. Best dungeons ever made are not designed to progress you down a linear path. And the dungeons that are fucking legendary allow you to approach them from any angle you want. I don't generally like Castle Ravenloft, but Castle Ravenloft is designed as a jungle gym. There are like 80 rooms in that castle, and if the players want to climb up the windows to like get in there, they can, right? If they go and they want to beeline and find Strahd, they could, right? Like, yeah, sure. The scenario doesn't restrict them in saying like they have to go through the front doors. They can only go through this one particular way, right? It realizes that like flight is a thing. So like, if they can fly into a fucking window, then let's not make it to where this dungeon falls apart if they don't follow this extremely specific path, you know? This is why Delian Tomb is fine as a like intro, this is what we do, point for point for point, right? But it's not the kind of thing that you should be designing dungeons based off of. Don't look at like Delian Tomb and go, every dungeon needs to be this exact path right here. That's not the case. That is a hyper realization of the literal 5-room dungeon, right? So like what's going on with here is we want to have these ideas, but still keep it as open as we can. I want to make sure that if there's a guardian, like they hit this guardian, and this should happen before here we go. Guardian should occur before the jungle gym begins. Okay. There we go. So the guardian should occur before the jungle gym begins. Before they can like get in and do all this crazy shit they want to in the dungeon, make sure that they're hitting their guardian first. Because what you're having to do now is if they hit the guardian first, okay, well then they've already had that encounter and now they can do the interactions, right? Also, like if you don't do the guardian beforehand, now it's like they enter into the dungeon and now they've got, I guess we have to put a guardian in every room. Don't worry about that, right? Throw the guardian right up front. What we would have here, I guess gusts and storms kind of work. There's also like harpies. So we have like, and we have like storm elemental, maybe. Just even getting there might be, how about like just traveling? Could be a guardian. Okay, so like maybe it could be like secure an airship. Getting there. I don't think it should be attacked by harpies on the way. I don't think that should be like, how do I put it? A key door could be the guardian. If it's a door and a literal obstruction as the guardian, that's also fine. But what I'm talking about is in the interactions and the jungle gym portion of it, we don't need a boss door. Yeah. We're sitting in your front. Oh, thanks, man. Traveling to the area could be a guardian. Okay, so secure an airship or other means of getting there. Maybe a flying mount. Griffins that then you have this cool cinematic, right? Okay. Oh, here you go. Yeah, here, immediate cinematic, right? Griffins. Yeah. Griffins offer to give the players a ride to the royal nest. Okay. On the way, we need the awesome, crazy cinematic thing that's going to happen in here. And a flock of harpies attacks the party. Here you go. Evan, this can be an excuse to teach people the mounting rules for Nimble. Okay. All right, so the interactions. We've got to think about like maybe 2 or 3 rooms here. Honestly, you could do like 3 to 5. So the interesting things, there's just like, we have the storm. I like this so much right now. Griffins offer to give the players a ride to the royal nest. Here we go. The travel situations are going to act as our guardian here. Attack the party. Okay. So we do have that. Hi. How are you? Yeah. You need to go outside. maybe. All right, 1 sec. I gotta let her out.
You boys don't mind watching a fella eat, do ya?
Okay. Oh, fuck, that was hot. Whoa! The bottom of it wasn't bad, but Jesus Christ. Ow! All right, yeah, a little bit. Got your hands open. Here we go. It's just hot. Okay. We need... Okay, so it's a griffin's nest, right? Okay. We have a hatchery. It's like the one thing I got. I'm like, all right. They clearly have some kind of a prophecy, which says that there's some sort of a culture about the griffins that they have. There's something here. Oh, what do we got? Already land with the nest and lead up to the nest because the storm and the harpies keep them from making it all the way there. That's kind of cool, right? They have to make it up to the nest. But I think that the sound of the royal nest feels a bit more like this is more of a location, right? I do like the idea of like they need to land somewhere before because there's like something's obstructing it, right? Land somewhere before. The entry, maybe. Okay. Okay. That's kind of cool. Maybe there's like a slight gauntlet in a way, kind of going up to it. It definitely has that like this is an open top shrine room for progression from multiple areas and be able to tell the story with wall art, narrative, etc. Okay. Some people are gonna hate me for this thing, but I generally hate forcing a narrative in there like that. I talked about this with the diary. I think my new least favorite. I think I've got a couple things that I'm like. These are my least favorite things I see in TTRPGs. Or at least with adventure writing. I just personally avoid it. Okay. These are crutches to me. I don't think that these are interesting at all. And I think that they're a sign of... a sign of a bit like weaker story. I'm just being real here. Number one... Boy, I'll wrestle a lot of jimmies with this one. Empty room. That's a sign that some people were listening to a bunch of like 2016 to 18 era advice on dungeon creation and think that empty rooms make a space feel living and breathing. I'm sorry, but in all the games I've ever run, these fucking waste time. They're not interesting at all. And I mean a literal empty room. It's so funny. I posted about this on Twitter. And just how many people were like, I don't have a problem with an empty room. It has like this, and it. And I'm like, that is not what a motherfucking empty room is. I'm like, Oh god. Empty rooms. Diaries and journals. Miss me with this shit. If the entirety of your exposition is reliant on the PCs finding a diary or a journal, oh, and there we go. Sorry, I was answering a message real quick. To you. You don't understand the diary soaked in blood. Yeah. 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 Variation. There's nothing that interests the adventurers here. Yep. I hate empty rooms. There's, and I'm gonna say this. Hang on. Here we go. Let's turn this down. All right. I might clip this and turn it into like, yeah. Okay. Look. I have said these two tropes right here are some of my least favorite things in TTRPG adventures. It's basically just these two, and I try to avoid them as much as I can. One of the other things I'm really trying to avoid right now, portals, gates, whatever you want to call it, summoning. This is a fine thing, okay? But like, I feel like once you start doing this, it feels like this is the only timer or for like a catastrophe you ever use in any kind of a adventure, right? Having a countdown timer is good. That's all fine and everything like that, right? Events that progress as the story keeps going on, it's all good. But more often than not, that's all that these portals, gates, and summoning ever really serves. I've seen a couple of these used really interestingly, but more often than not, these are a MacGuffin that it just feels like this becomes the only MacGuffin you really think of. There is an adventure that I think did this in an interesting, unique way called Aberrant Reflections. PDF. Here, wait, is it in print now again? Is it back in print? No shit. Really? Ooh. Hang on, folks. I did not know that this is available in print again. I'm gonna order this real quick. Yep. Mimic rug. Why is PayPal not working? There we go. Sorry, one sec. I did not know that this is available now. There we go. Okay, now. How can I get... There we go. Now, I think that this dungeon did a really interesting take on the give me the digital file. Thank you. Right? Where do I get my file? What? How do I get my file? Receipt. Thank you. Yes. Right. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Aberrant. Here we go. But I do like this dungeon so much, I don't care. I'll just give him another $20 for it. Here we go. Okay. All right, I'll bring this one up. So the reason why I like this one so much is, the idea is in this dungeon there is a mirror world, right? And the players are like, what they do in the real world, quote unquote, affects things that happen in the mirror world. And if I remember this right, there's a way for them to like traverse into that mirror world. I'm trying to remember. But basically there are things that only happen in the mirrors that affect, like, it's almost like reality is an illusion in a way, and they can figure out what's happening or like where some of the secrets are based off of what's happening in the mirror. And that's super cool. I dig that idea a lot, and it feels like the portal is being used as or the gate or whatever is being used to like get through the dungeon, not it's the countdown for the dungeon for bad shit to happen, right? I really dig that idea, and would love to see more kind of like take on that kind of route. I also think the layout on this one was kind of clever because if it happens in the mirror world, it's in purple, and if it's in the real world, it's in black. This one's also compatible with Vagabond, so like, hey, check that out, right? So I generally am trying to avoid ever writing another MacGuffin that involves a gate. Whenever I say writing another, it's got to be a fucking baller idea for me to go like, yeah, I want to write a timer like that. That's right. But starting from like on the top here going down. So real quick, an empty room. What I mean by this, and like I kind of saw it in chat as well. What I mean by this is literally an empty room. If you look at Sunless Citadel, which is a great adventure, by the way, there are something like 20 plus empty rooms on that map. Why is it empty? People are going to tell me one thing on here. Well, it's for players to rest in the dungeon. Why the fuck are they resting in the dungeon? Oh my god. Why would it be that you're going through this place that's supposed to be creepy, infested with monsters, all this other shit, and then you're like, ooh, we found a 10 by 10 foot square area over here. Let's sleep in here for 8 hours. What? Like, what? Also, by the way, if they've been clearing out rooms in here, why not use one of the rooms that you all cleared out already? What's the point of wasting my time in this? Like, now I've got to hunt down, oh, it's an empty room. This deflates so much about the pacing of adventures. And I literally mean by this, an empty room. This room serves no purpose. It is empty. Empty, empty, empty. Maybe you want to chat in character for a minute? Then you can just do that. Just do that. In one of the rooms you already cleared out. Just do it. Have that. Like, why not just do that? Why do you have to have an empty room for this? This is not the answer and the only thing that gives you permission to, like, talk to each other in character. Like, why? Why? It just feels like we're overcomplicating so much shit in the dungeon. Okay. I hate the empty room. It is pointless. It is a waste of paper. Diaries and journals. This feels like the laziest way to deliver a MacGuffin, or like throwing the players an answer here. I don't like this for the same reason I don't like knowledge checks in a game. I saw that Ben Milton put this as a rule in Knave, where like you can't make knowledge checks to see if you know this language or whatever. Okay, if it's like in the common tongue or whatever, yeah, okay, they already know this shit. It's like a modern myth or whatever. But like rolling a lore check or doing whatever just feels so like, that's not, oh god, it just doesn't feel right for dungeon crawls. Oh, sweet. Sorry, I also have like cool shit happening with a print book. No resting in dungeons. Yeah, go through it. Too many people like toil in dungeons about like, we're going to go through here, but the warlock needs a nap for an hour, so we're going to go find an empty room. What? It is 5e brain. It is 5e brain. If you're pro empty room, think about if you're still pro empty room after we get rid of short resting. And even still, if we don't get rid of short resting, why can't they sleep in the room they just cleared out? Or like, what the hell ever? Oh, well, I want the players to feel a little bit safe in there. Why do they want to feel safe in a fucking dungeon? What does this brain dead take? I don't get this at all. I hate the empty room. Players are incentivized to rest in dungeons when we go too long and overwritten. I mean, fair. That too. But also, oh wait, what was this? Hang on. Okay, there was a game I looked at just the other day that had this rule that I was like, oh my god, that's kind of good. Oh. Story time. Yada White Hack by Christian Merstrom has a rule in here. Where was this? Now, this is a little bit, I personally, for me, probably won't be using this, but I get it. I get why this is here. And I like it a lot. Where was this? It has to do with boss monsters. Okay, there's monsters. Boss monsters. Okay. This is a very interesting piece of text in here. How do we do this? Is this gonna work? Oh, damn. Let me see if I can fix that book cam real quick. I don't know why this keeps borking out every time. Configure. Give me that. Where's the focus? Thank you. You're gonna work? Yes. Okay. Now, I don't think you all can really read this, but I'm just going to read it for you. There we go. Okay. So what this says... Oh, man. That's cool. Okay. Bosses emit a certain aura of danger that triggers an extra reserve to player characters. They each get a recharge when going into boss battle, either in the form of a previously used up slot or class ability, or in the form of 2d6 hit points of recharge, which can't take hit points above the character's current maximum, yada yada yada. Characters whose hit points would be reduced to -2 or less by a boss attack must save to stay at 1 hit point, or take the damage and start dying. Unless healed, any further damage during the boss fight, even if it's a single point, means instant death without save. Bosses get an extra move, special action, or extra attack at full attack value each round. They must put it in any place in the initiative order except first. Okay, so what does this do? Don't move the book. I tried not to. Did you get it? You see it? Right? Yeah, we good? Okay, so what does this mean? What it means is that in White Hack, players are incentivized to like, hey, go fight the boss. It's not a stop, right? It's not a stop in the action. It's not a lull. What's happening now is before the boss comes up, they're given a refresh of their resources. So to some people that are like, and I saw this, wow, White Hack is aiming for more of a like, hey, we're evoking the cinema of the fantasy of the game, right? Now, if you want to go more survival heavy, maybe that's not the kind of thing for you, but I don't know too many people that really always want the gritty survival heavy kind of game. Some people are just down for a murder fest. Like, you know. Oh my god. So, it feels a bit more like the like video game giving you a potion before the boss. Basically, that's it. I like the idea. Oh my god. Okay. I like the idea. I think it's really cute. I think it's really clever. I just don't really personally feel like I would remember that all the time. I feel like whenever it came to like, okay, well this is a boss that's coming up here, I feel like that would just slip my memory. But it also kind of feels like suddenly whenever we fight bosses, we're in a different portion of the game. But there's so much to it I really like, you know. Now, ooh, what if they have to clear the landing? What if we just make this like a Call of Duty mission? The Royal Egg. Like, the players are up in an AC-130, and we have to have these guardians here. Like, maybe it doesn't have to be harpies. Maybe it could be snakes of some kind, serpent folk. This would be kind of funny. And I think kind of the awesomeness that people would be like, oh, ooh, wait, what? CSGO type mission would be cool. Yeah, maybe it's not harpies. Harpies are a bit too easy of a, yeah. Ooh, okay. Call of Duty or Halo. Oh, this feels very much like AC-130. They're flying around on griffins while there's like serpent men down there on the ground. Okay. This is funny. But it's worth noting about the only character that would have something to do are going to be archers and spellcasters. Barbarians, fighters, melee, you know, whatever. They don't have a lot really going on here, other than maybe we say they're the ones that are controlling the mount. And that's not exactly always fun. So ooh. That was the right music we needed for this right here. Oh, hang on. We got to start that from the get-go. Ooh. Motherfucking Red Fang. Okay, this is really funny. Oh. Ah, so good. Paratrooper Barbarian. And let's see. Oh, so good. Ah! Hey, Evan, if you're in chat, I forget, are there minion rules in Nimble? There are minion rules and they're really freaking good too. Okay. Use this as an opportunity to teach minion rules. Yeah. Starship Velociraptor. In 1, 2, 3. Oh, this song fucks so hard. Ship in the galaxy. I love the like. It's got a fridge full of meat. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just have to sit. Their seat comes with a fridge that's full of meat. The graphics sweet. Yeah, red and see. It's basically free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Faster than light in 1, 2, 3. When lights are blasted. So good. God damn it, that song is so awesome. We need more like... Yeah, we were making... Okay. So... Yes, we need more Red Fang. I think Red Fang is helping push us into the... Alright. So here's what I'm thinking. Less of a dungeon. More of a more of an insane situation. You're being kind of like, holy shit, this is what's happening in here, right? Like, yeah, we need there needs to be like a snake commander that we kill. The Cobra commander. Just something dumb. Oh, well, that was kind of a guide here. Okay. What up, bud? You okay? Yeah? Can I shut the back door now? Alright, is it okay? Yeah, I'm gonna shut the back door. Yeah, we need a cover come in. Right. There we go. Answered that question. get them immediately into the combat, and that's the action. Boom, right? We want to kick down the door. If your barbarian's like, let me down, I want to like go fuck these guys up, then yeah, he can. And then the rest of the party's like up in the AC 130 lobbing fire. Like, come on, this is fucking great. All right. Okay, so we get rid of that. Okay. The party arrives mid-invasion. What? You just went outside. I know. Hi. Did you roll around in the dirt? You asshole. You just got bathed yesterday. I took you to the fucking groomer. I took you to the groomer and got you expensive. I got your nails cut. I got your hair all washed out. You went and rolled around in the dirt? You asshole. He went and had a $75 day at the dog groomer. Got expensive shampoo. Got his nails trimmed. He comes in here and he's like, hey, Dad. And he's just covered in dirt. I know. Hi, bud. Here. All right. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Ugh. Say hey to chat. Dogs will be dogs. Yes. Hey. You're okay. I got you. You comfy? You want to be a lap dog? You're too fucking big to be a lap dog. Chat. Yeah. Wait, you want to look? Hey. Right? Okay, are you comfy? You don't feel comfy. Here. Okay. Here, I gotta work though. Okay, are you gonna be good? Do you want to be a tiny lap dog? Has that been your dream, bud? Do you just always want to be a tiny lap dog? Okay. We need... Constructs the entry. So... Yeah, the Griffin will like drop them down. Okay, so the Serpent need like acid spit. Okay, I can only use one hand because he's... Are you comfy here? Okay. Serpentmen need acid spit. Okay. And then what's the cool thing about the golden griffin though? Is it just that it's a golden griffin? Ah, we don't need that giant snake. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah. Hi. What are you looking for? Are you just looking for food? Is that why? I thought you got up here because you wanted to be cute. Yeah, spinning cobras in the coat. Yeah. What the fuck? Plus now, like, the party has, like, they're gonna fly. They got all that going for them. Good ending. Aerial fight. We can't just have the one aerial fight. We need another one somewhere. Maybe it's born in a literal golden egg. Ooh, that is a like its shell. Each chunk of the shell is worth. Chunk is worth X gold. There we go. But hi. I'm just like, oh, he wanted to be up here. He has never been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit in your lap while you work on the computer, dog. What? Yeah. Yeah, the shell is loot. Yeah, no, I totally agree there. What? You got it? Mini birds eat their eggshells after hatching. I like the shell as loot. And then that's just an easy, fun, like, yeah, okay, they got that. Also, eating lindworms gives you magic powers. Hi! What's up? Dude, you are covered in dirt. I'm gonna have to wash my hands after this. Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay. There's get the shell bits before the baby griffin eats them all. That's a little like goofy Nintendo for me. Eating the lindworm or the oh, okay. Ooh, you got it? Okay, do you want down? Or you just what are you doing? What do you want, bud? Do you want down? I can let you down. Here. You ready? We have to do this carefully. Okay. Alright, you want down? Okay. And oh. Oh, dude, I am covered in dirt now. Good, bud. Here. There you go. His collar makes noise and freaks him out. You go. Here you go. Good boy. Protect the egg so the landworm doesn't eat it. Now, the party doesn't just have to kill it; they get to cut it open, and it gets to be the whole nasty, "Whoa, fuck everything up." Yes. That doesn't have to be possessive here. What? Or it's not. Wait, I'm in the possessive form already. Ooh, there we go. I like that. I like that. That's our twist too. All right, but we have to have the interactions leading into it, right? 6 to 8 rooms. What lore did he give me to work with on that? Is the egg the motivation for being there then? Oh, yeah. It's like so the idea was, griffins have a rare event once every 1,000 years where a golden cub is born. Locals have confirmed the egg has been laid, but a omen, Okay. And it reminds you of the moment in Game 10 when you beat a dungeon to the MacGuffin to find it already stolen. Yeah, I love that, right? It's fun. The flight, the landing, the path to the nest, and the nest, that's 4, right? Kind of. We still need... I still want to come up with, like, rooms here, right? Are the servants good or bad in this scenario? I mean, it depends, I guess, on who the party would align them with. Or wants to align themselves with. Because we're still just kind of doing our outline here. Right, we need maybe Royal Nest is what else though? Fabled Lore of the Heavens. Okay. All right, we need... I'm writing down some ideas for weapons to make sure that melee characters have something that they get that if we're going to do aerial combat, that's going to make them feel like a god for a second. Near it is thrown, yeah, maybe. The servants got the spy, but the servants are also the ones blocking the landing. Yeah, they caught a spy and found out that that the egg was laid. But I mean, I guess a spy is like, oh, I guess. So this could be that the servant men need the egg for some purpose, so it gives them a chance of whether to take the egg or to leave it to them. I kind of thought it would be cool if the lindworm consumes it, it grows wings, and it's like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, a flying lindworm is not great. Okay. There we go. Kill the beast before it figures out how to control its flight can be fun. I kind of thought about that, right? Something like that. I mean, come on, this is like, he gets to fight a fucking dragon on the back of a griffin. Like, that's, yes, like, sure, yeah, give me that, like. Then we need... I'm trying to think. Yeah, because the griffins sound a bit more noble than this now. Oh, unreasonably high. This massive stable holds entire fleet's worth of horses. However, is this 3 or 2? This should be 2, right? Okay. I guess Griffins and party. I'm almost wondering if this is a little too hardcore for what like he's kind of looking for, but I mean, if this doesn't work for Nimble, it'll work for Vagabond. This is just, my mind is so in this like heavy metal action kind of thing that I'm like, yeah, fucking, I don't know, and this snake man stabs this bird dude. The Griffins have a cannon that shoots Manacors. Okay, so we got something obstructs the entry. You weren't paying attention when I asked Harpies, why'd you do that? Serpentmen felt more compelling. This feels more like that classic Pulp kind of vibe, and it's like more natural enemy of the Griffins is like these snake men. Yeah, we wanted Cobra Commander. Yeah. It's simple, easy, we get it. But also, like, come on, this is sick. You're going around AC-130ing a bunch of fucking snake dudes on top of a tree on the back of a griffin. Come on, this is good. Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're probably not going to really hit the... We're probably not really hitting dungeon crawler beat. You know what could be cool though? Symbol? We're actually taking a note from Eat the Reich here. Right. Oh, why did I do that? Okay. Let me think here. Get another round in. Okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Try to check boxes of first war is hard from within the nest. Something like this. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Okay. Wow. I'm actually really happy I had gone through and checked out Eat the Right before I had written this. This is basically how Eat the Right kind of operates, and I can see how it kind of pushes you toward kind of keeping the action going on in a scene. It's not as important as to whether or not they really take care of the hit points of the enemies. It's more so important that, like, situation unfolds to where, boom, they get through that. Howdy, what are we up to today? I'm writing a thing for Evan with Nimble to do that, yeah. When a player kills a serpent man or passes the checkup recently helped in this conflict, check a box below. What inspired the box progression? So what's not really super important is so what inspired? I guess the first thing to say there is this comes from Eat the Reich that uses something called the Havoc engine. Pull it up whenever it wants to come up. Okay, so the way that situations get resolved in Eat the Reich is basically in a scene. Here, let me scroll forward. Okay, so there's that objective, right? 8, objective 8 challenge. Yes, okay, so see how this is right here? Basically, it leaves it open to where if the party is doing stuff that would reasonably progress the story and advance it in some way, if they succeed in doing that, they start checking off one of the 8 boxes of the objective, right? So this allows a way more open-ended interpretation as to how they can deal with this scenario right here, okay? Few people owned a car in the 1940s era Paris, and for many of those that did, it was a status symbol. Most of the vehicles in this garage belong to German expats or diplomats who want to be seen driving something expensive. They can't handle much in the way of punishment from enemy fire, but on an open road, they can achieve a fair lick of speed. So steal something flashy and get the hell out of here. So their objective that it's telling you to do right here is they need to steal something, like a car, and get out of here, right? So anything that they're doing, like there's also enemies that are in here as well. So this can be if they're like, okay, I'm going to get in and try to like hotwire it real quick. All right, we're going to make that check with the relevant skill, whatever that's required, right? Roll it. Okay, it comes out. I've got 3 successes. Okay, so then that's going to check off 3 of the boxes here. And then it's like, okay, you get it. The lights like click on and you can see the lights are actually illuminating an entire squad in an armored car parked right in front of you that is now like they're rushing to get into the car. You can also see on the other side of the pavilion from you all a sniper team of a bunch of Nazis up there on the top. Oh shit, everyone get in. I'm gonna get over here and just snipe these guys off the roof. Okay, roll the gun, right? Roll the 2 successes. Okay, so there's 5 out of 8 we've got right now. All right, I'm trying this one more time. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna try to like hotwire it one more time. Okay, there's 3 more successes. Not only that, you found the original key right there underneath the seat. Shit. Okay. Now we get it going and we stole the car, right? That's basically how things work with Aetherreich. Is like there's a scenario there and you're just kind of given the like open-endedness to kind of solve it as you would like, right? But that's a very, very quick kind of summary for this stream. But this gameplay allows it to stay a lot more open-ended than if we were just to say something like, they need to go through this gate right here in order to open up this door in order to like hit this button to do this thing. So I like this idea. You get it, grabbing the book now to review, you think, oh yeah, no, totally. And they're nugget sized? What? And they're nugget sized. What could that have been talking about? Oh, I have no idea. I'm very worried and concerned about what that might... yeah, by the way, Aetherreich is super sick. Once you understand like how this operates, the entire system clicks. Aetherreich is very, very good. If you want to get your friends into TTRPGs and they're down for something just batshit crazy, dude, Aetherreich is simple and like it's stupid, great, cocaine fueled fun. It's just awesome. Yeah. Okay. So the idea here, you mean the encounter is concise? Yeah. When a player kills a servant man or passes a check that would reasonably help end this conflict, check a box below. After 5 check boxes, a ferocious roar is heard from within the row nest, and the Cobra Commander emerges from one of the holes. We want the Cobra Commander to show up, and it takes a little bit of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's just 12. No, 13. Wait, that's 6. Yeah. Okay. I like this idea. Okay. Lindworm is very dragon adjacent. They can eat very large egg. I'm trying to think, is there like a good depiction of a lindworm? I like the one in Vaesen, but I think a lot of people are just gonna think it just looks like a dragon. Yeah, the one from, oh my god, Hilda? Is this Hilda? Yeah, oh, that's adorable. Yeah, I think lindworms are just a very charming and goofy looking monster. Dragons with these like antlery horns. This is the one from Vaesen. Oh. Yeah, I see like this sort of that. What am I thinking? I got a fuzzy tail. See, I like. Ooh, so they have like small wings. So it's not like it's unheard of that they might. Yeah, see, God, I love the amphitheater. Such a fucking cool look. He's just like, male lindworm. Yeah, they're not usually huge. We want it to be a big boy, though. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking, like this. That big, yes. Ooh. I like the Beetlejuicy look to it. But I mean, that's my own preference. Yeah, see? I think they're kind of sick if you go with a little bit more of a snaky look to it. Like snake with antlers. What? The Beetlejuicy? Hey. Oh, yes! I love that face on it. It's so goofy and great. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. This thing would be like venerated as a god to them. And it's like, yes, this is what we look up to, right? Like we love this thing. Our objective is to have it ascend. Look at Pathfinder Lindworms or Fafnir. Lenorm? Lenorm. Oh, that's a cool look. How's Nimble feeling? I like it. I mean, I think that there's a if I was going to play a 5e like sometime soon, it would probably be Nimble. Yeah, basically just... That's sick. Father of Lenorms. Yeah, it's a very cool look. Yeah. Lenorm's in space. So it's... Oh, dude, that looks so fucking cool. Lands of the Lenorm Kings. Dude, I dig it. I don't know what it is. Lenorm is the translation you default to. I mean, I always thought it was just Lindworm. I don't know what it is. There's something about it that's more like... This sounds weird. More fantasy to me than a conventional dragon. There's something so much more alien about them. And I don't know why. They're literally just snakes with legs. With 2 legs. Oh, yeah. Like, that's super cool. Oh, this... Yes. That's sick. Ugh. Yeah, see, okay, that's sick. Pathfinder ones are very cool looking. I dig it. I dig it. You want to become an elected official? Hey man, I gotta run for mayor. Get my sword. That's super funny. Maybe it's because typical dragons are cliche. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, so we have a fight against a big cobra dude, right? And then the lindworm. So we have these two. All right, so we have our interactions. Dormitory, hatchery, stable. We have one room outside, basically. This is an unreasonable amount of serpent men emerging from holes in the tree. Just let the party murk them, and so something comes and stops the waves. Use this as an opportunity to teach the minion rules. Each serpent man should only have 1 hit point. Yeah. Yeah, this is a way for us to also do waves real quick. We also need to clip it back, though. We need to look at our word count. Hang on. Yeah. We need to be sure we're not blowing our entire word count on a big intro here. Thunder Spear is cool. Marian theme. I think it is much more similar to Lindworms than Fantasy Dragons. What? Even biblical dragons are depicted as much more similar to Lindworms than Fantasy Dragons. Huh. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I like this idea with Thunder Spear, right? So there's like suits of, I don't know how many suits are there. Let's just do 2d6. 5. How many I guess bows? Longbows. 6 longbows. 9 quivers. Here, let's do this. Spears. 8 spears. Maybe. Is it a... Please add a Keythong Griffin? What the fuck? I'm gonna add stuff in here that's quick and easy. Because we gotta keep it light. Like, we have restrictions here. Keythong. Oh, so they're like griffins without wings? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was just like a Warhammer deal. That is pretty fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie. They just traditionally don't have wings? A cockatrice Keythong, huh? Yeah, it's a very cool look. They have so do the spines prevent anybody from like getting on the backs? With its flight replaced with porcupine spikes? That's hilarious. I'm gonna remember it for Vagabond. And oh no, that's too no. That's we don't do sexy griffins. I always get so scared looking up monsters. You never know what the fuck is gonna come up on Google. Okay. We go. Sure, there you go. Yes, sexy griffins. Can manticores and griffins interbreed? They shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Yeah, it's like a golden hippo from Elden Ring. The fuck did I come back to? You know what the fuck this stream is about, all right? We know what we're about. We're beyond being judged now. All right, let me get... Red Thing has done their job today. Anomaly? I think Anomaly maybe. Man, I don't know. I've had this MF Doom song stuck in my head for like 2 weeks now.
Hey, yo, y'all can't stand right here. In his right hand was your man's worst nightmare. Loud enough to burst his right eardrum close range. The game is not only dangerous, it's most strange. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but brag about the broker times. Joker rhymes like the issue just happy to see me trick. Classical slapstick.
Refuse to be king shamed. Nothing to be ashamed about. Well. Mad villain.
Never seen this shit again, but he's still my dunny. The only thing that come between us is krill and money. I sell rhymes like dimes. Mostly keep cash and brag about the broker times. Better rhymes make for better.
Dude, it's such a good sample.
Got a lot of what it takes just to get along. Surrender now, so for serious setbacks. Got get back, connects, wet back, get stacks. Even if you got to get jet black, head to toe to get the dough. Battle for bottles of Mo or Joe. This fly flow take practice like Tybo with Billy Blanks. Oh, you're too kind, really thanks. To the corner lost forever like, oh my darling Clementine. He hold his heart when he tellin' rhyme. When is his time? I hope his soul go to heaven. He nasty like the old time, old number 7. You still taste it when you chase it with the Coca-Cola. Make them wish they could erase it out the Motorola. I told her, no credit, fall back. If you want what they got, then go get it. It's all gag. Only in America could you find a way to earn a healthy buck and still keep your attitude on self-destruct. I sell rhymes like dimes. The one who mostly keep cash but tell about the broke times. Joker rhymes like the is you just happy to see me trick. Classical slapstick. Chapstick. A lot of them sound like they in a talent show, so I do something to remember like the Alamo. Tally ho high Joker like Space Game. Came back from 5 years lane. Stayed the same. Electromagnetic field will block all logic. Spock and G-Shock a biological clock. When I hit it, slid it to the shit. I thought I killed a goose. Her power use was pure Brita water filter juice. Keep a pen like a fiend. Keep a pipe with him. Gentleman who lent a pen to a friend who write with him. Never seen this shit again, but he's still my dunny. Only thing that come between us is krill and money.
Well, okay.
The one who mostly keep cash but tell about the broke times.
Yeah. We need to give it a little bit of oomph here. Ooh, and then mono neon.
I'm gonna go where no one goes to fight monsters and save some souls. Outer space can be so cold, but I got the fire, I'm sure. We let our engines run, we've only just begun, and we gon' figure out a way out of here. We got a map to the stars, we gonna take.
Go.
Come on with me.
Come on with me.
We are space fighters.
Doing what's right.
Dude, only good thing Wizards of the Coast did around Spelljammer was make this fucking album. It's so good.
Fighting for justice, having a blast. It is over and out.
A cosmic storm is up ahead. You better hold on when the lightning strikes. And on your cell, you see a
Remember.
floor in the speed of light.
Figure out a way out of here.
Manacor was the first collating thing he done.
That was on a Saturday night.
Dude, I love mono neon so much. Where's Hot Cheetos?
Space fight is over and out.
Okay, we need. Alright, so we'll get rid of that. Travel.
Way out of here.
Well, come on with me. Come on with me.
Come on. That's right. That was on a Saturday night. Going now. This fight is over and now. If you're ever in now.
We got this album and the price was the rest of Spelljammer Strange implementation. Dude, yeah, wait, I need Hot Cheetos. Give me that mono. Yeah! Dude. Man, that guy's just got such a fucking plush bass tone. It's so good.
Wow.
Okay, so we have this. There's a ring of flying we can just give you, I guess. Damn it, I know I misspelled that. Fuck, I've always got a couple words. Want some hot Cheetos. However that would be for them. Okay, so not everything is going to be flight. We need other stuff needs to be happening. So we have our conflict. We have some things that are going on with the factions. To be fair, a third of Spelljammer's monsters and 5 of you were actually from Dark Sun. Well, there you go. Has he put an angle you want on that whole deal? I have Spelljammer over here that I have meant to like go through and be like, okay, how bad was this? I've legitimately had it on my shelf thinking like, how? Let's analyze. Okay. What's wrong? Hey. Oh man. Here we go. What's up? No, you feel fine. What's up, bud? Yeah? Oh. Okay, I think that's good progress for right now. Let me see here. I think probably signing off for a little while. I don't know. I might get back on later on tonight. Depends on what Amanda's plans are. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I got more work to do on this one and a bunch of other stuff going on. Oh, I was wondering if I was going to get off before she was home. Monster wise 4 out of 5, adventure 3 out of 5, player options 2 out of 5, lore 1 out of 5. Woof, woof. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to sign off. I don't know. We'll see what's going on later. Yeah, we'll see you guys. I'm trying to set a schedule that will be a little bit more regular, and it all kind of depends on kind of trying to figure all this out, but I'm hoping this time kind of works out for people. It seems like more people in my demographic are like on and around it this time. So yeah, damn it, I was trying to get off before she got it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Like crazy little dinosaur.
All right, everybody. You all have a good day. I don't know. I might
Where's
see
the
later.
camera?
What?
Where's the camera go?
Oh, that's a fun question, right? Where would it be right now?
Oh, I'm like over here somewhere.
Really? Yeah, you would think so, right? I mean, what is that right there, though? What is?
Well, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
chat's in there. That's cool.
Because it's a teleprompter.
Well, yeah.
So
Okay.
the camera's in the teleprompter.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay. I don't know. I saw a screen. That was all I saw.
What are you doing today?
I don't know.
You don't have anything going on for the rest of the day?
I don't think so. Just home from work. I
Okay.
might take a nap. I don't know. Haven't thought about it yet.
Okay. All right. We'll chat. Y'all have a good day. We'll check in, see what's up, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow or something. Anyways, everybody have a good one.
Bye.
Check with y'all later on.